Your level of self-awareness is a key contributing factor to your ability to perform as an athlete. And one of the things you need to really be aware of yourself is to know how much energy you need to have and to bring to your performance. And one of the ways I do this with my clients is just simply using a scale from 1 to 10. And 10 represents a high level of energy, almost like flames are coming off of you, and 1 representing a low level of energy, total relaxation. Everyone has an ideal number on this scale, and everyone has an ideal number, and you have to understand it's very unique to each person. But when we kind of find the ideal number on this scale for each person, it helps to create a reference point and helps to, again, create a little bit more awareness of where they need to be for their performances. And then this helps them to then know how to drive themselves to the right level of energy for themselves for a performance. And so they can then use this scale as a little bit of a check-in and the reference point that they've created with the number to see if they are where they need to be. And if they are too low, then we create action steps to help them to generate more energy. And this is something that you can do for yourself. You can figure out, okay, if you are below the number that's ideal for you, or just below the energy you know you need to bring to your performance, then start to think about, like, what are the action steps within your control that can help to generate your energy. Sometimes we look too much to our external circumstances to generate that energy for us, maybe fans in the stands, or having a really good, first shift, which I hear a lot from hockey players that I work with. And those things are great, but we can't rely on them. We have to know what this looks like for ourselves, and then we have to be able to really generate that energy within ourselves. And then obviously the opposite, if we find we have too much energy and we need to kind of dial it back a little bit, maybe do some breathing techniques or some other things like laughter or joking with people to maybe break any tension or stress that maybe we're experiencing. We have to know how to be able to kind of bring ourselves down and get ourselves to that right level of energy. Again, we can't rely on those external circumstances, which again, I hear a lot from athletes. Like, maybe if they make a good play in that first shift or first part of the game, then they'll kind of settle into the game. And I'm not saying those things may not still happen to a degree, but we can't rely on them 100%. We have to really know for ourselves what we can do to help drive that energy right from the beginning of the game, rather than letting the game or the competition itself help to get us into the right energy. I was working on this with one of my clients the other day. He's a motocross, supercross athlete, and it takes him about 2 laps to kind of really get to the right level of energy for him. And it means the first 2 laps he's a little bit behind, and then he has to really work in those last laps, beyond that second lap, to really kind of gain the ground that he lost in those first 2 laps. And so we started to look at what is he doing before he gets on that bike to help really generate that energy. He finds he's a little bit too low to start off the race, and so we had to find some ways to really help him within that context for himself and what works for him, drive his energy a lot higher so that those first 2 laps are right where they need to be in terms of the level of energy he brings, so that now he's from start to finish has the exact level of energy he needs that's going to help him to execute what he needs to and get the results he wants.